there is only we. January 22, 2014. What is understood or known as the invisible universe is also equal with the higher aspects of your mind, the part of your mind which is godlike and of the visible world which you live. It is the outcome of so much creative activity that takes place inside the mind that has evolved into higher consciousness and awareness of the universe inside of you and outside. All your creative activity takes place within your inner self that is deeply connected with the invisible mind. Understand that the universe around you and what is inside of you is living, it's very much alive and it is part of every living thing. Your universal mind and the divine mind are one and the same. When you say or read I am that I am, this is your acceptance of your own universal mind existing within the Spirit of God. The I, in this simple affirmation, expresses your wholeness and brings your Christ mind into complete likeness to God in all you do, in all actions, thoughts, feelings, words and will. Just think of yourself being an extension of God's mind. It is this reason that contributes to your creative ability. There is no us. When you are coming from your universal mind, there is only we. Understand, dear ones, everything that has been manifested owes its entire existence to the creative principle. Your own consciousness and awareness is intertwined with the masculine aspect of the sacred principle. Each of you sets in motion the creative process every time you think and what you perceive yourself to be. Now try to understand. The intelligence side of the creative principle is feminine, and it is what gives you your purpose within the intelligence to become what your consciousness declares as being necessary and what your consciousness sees its own self to be. The intelligence side aspect of you does not ask questions, it quite simply becomes what your consciousness believes. This is where you get the saying, what you think, so you become. Comprehend all the godlike attributes are the only ingredients God needed for the creation of all matter, of all things solid. Wherever you go, and everything you see, feel and touch is God, and it is inside the universal mind that you are capable of manifesting anything your heart desires. Just think, every time a child is born, the universal mind of God bestows upon their living body wholeness and the ability to express itself from its God consciousness if the young babe is able to access its own inner self. Yes, right from a young age you are given the potential and ability to bridge your connection with the higher aspects of your mental body and with the universal mind of God in order for you to function as God, with God-like qualities and with His attributes in every aspect of your life. As a young babe, you are given a name. Then you begin to work at being the dear soul your parents created, in their image, which prevents you from functioning from the we perspective. When you are aware of already being the creative divine mind where you move throughout your journey as an individualized expression of God's universal mind working collectively as one, you clearly demonstrate the I am that I am personified. And this, dear ones, is what each of you and what each child after you has always been able to become. But it takes realization to bring this into actualization. Just think, from the moment Jesus was born, his parents never shielded him from the truth of his identity, they made him aware of the very fact that he was the embodiment of God. Right from early childhood, he was made aware of the fact that he was the Son of God. As a result, every step Jesus made, he moved within his own Christ mind. Unfortunately, dear ones, the mind each of you has been born with only allows you to function as the person your parents created through the name they gave you, until you begin listening to your heart and coming eventually to the realization that the sacred I that is within each of you is the wholeness of Christ, and it remains dormant until you bring it to life through conscious awareness, and from your acceptance that God is the I am that is within you and God are one. There are so many that walk this earth still that do not realize the God they are searching for is not going to be found through external sources or from hours of worship in temples or churches, as the God they are searching for already exists within the I am that is already a part of their divine and universal minds that is connected through God by God. It is your own taught belief that you are the very person your parents created the moment they gave you a name, and this very act is what prevented you from moving within the consciousness of total oneness with God. Every single one of you is a unique individualized expression of God's universal mind, the I am that I am. And each of you are also the unique and individualized activator of the creative principle that is balanced with the feminine and masculine attributes of God. Remember, each of you sets in motion the creative principle every time you think. Understand the I am that is within each of you is God in action every time. When you come to this realization and welcome it and make it complete each and every day as part of your character, you begin to set in motion a spiritual rebirth where your ways of living and being are dramatically changed as you attain higher awareness of your total self. The inner and outer universe becomes one with all and with God. It is only when you come to this realization, dear ones, knowing and accepting the I am as being God already a living part of you, can you effectively begin functioning in a consciousness of unity and oneness that is the Christ mind. God is your true reality, dear ones, and He is a deep and profound part of you. The sacred and fundamental truth, dear ones, is that you are one, and God is that very one. Yet it is the ignorance of this fact of who you truly are that creates the perception of what you think you are, and this is how your beliefs divide you from this unity and oneness with God and the universe. It is essential for you to try and comprehend that there are two different aspects of God. You already are aware of the universal aspect, but there is also a personal one. It is well understood and accepted that the universal aspect of God is also associated with the universal power each of you has and can use at will, whereas the personal aspect of God is the dear soul, the person of God, moving as He wills and directs through gentle nudges and guidance that is readily accepted. The universal power is also known as your mental power. It is part of your divine nature as God intended during the time He created each of you. And it is the power within each of you that is a reflection of His omnipotence. Many of you already understand that you are created in the image of God, and within you holds the universal aspect, the mind of God that shines within your own spirit. Even with God being a living and breathing part of you, you are the creators of your reality and direction which your path is to take. You are meant to rule your life, and we encourage each of you to welcome this notion, as it is not an idea of whimsy. We witness so many not taking control of their life, and often they go in circles or they create illusions based on untruthful perceptions. Wake up and come home to the I am that is a part of you, embrace it with all the love you can muster and become one with this divine and sacred part of yourself, because when you do, you are becoming one with God and the universe. We encourage you to think as your thought and knowledge being as one. Understand that your thought will eventually lead you into knowledge, and your own knowledge will influence further thought. Now try to comprehend that choice is merely an illusion created by those that are in control for the ones that are not. In order to be in control, you must know. It is in the knowing of how things work and to completely understand what is happening that provides you the deeper and enhanced awareness of the controlling dynamics of your reality. And it is your awareness that will propel you into a position of being a dominant and major player of your life instead of being a game piece on a board game. Think of your mental power as being your spiritual power, because the mind and spirit are one and the same. When you have the power of the universal mind, dear ones, you can achieve all miracles and do great and marvelous things. Your personal power is natural because it is an innate part of the natural laws. You may think that only certain things can challenge the natural laws, but that is because you are seeing things from only one perspective. Understand, dear ones. Natural laws are present on every plane of reality, within the physical and mental planes as well. Everything that is considered supernatural is really quite natural when you are able to grasp with a full understanding of a multidimensional universe. Remember, all things within the universe is connected with the universal mind of God, which is connected to you through the I am. Nothing exists without this connection. It is the universal mind of God by which all things contain life in the form they were created to hold. Don't forget, dear ones, separation is just an illusion, a trick of the egoic mind. As you come to realize your oneness, you come to know each of you are all one. You can always use your mind at will, and all your power is found from within and is always within your control. As you gain oneness with God and the universe, you will develop your mental power through visualization techniques, affirmations, meditation, and other ways that will have a great and positive influence on your total life and will help raise and maintain your higher levels of consciousness, and not just for occasional outbursts of mental power but for continuous expressions of the God that each of you are. I am Master Djwhal Kuhl, through Julie Miller. Spiritualnetworks.com